Hello, folks. I've got 2007 Subaru all-wheel drive B9 Tribeca. Let me just show you what it looks like from the back. This is an '07 Tribeca. This is an all-wheel drive. This is the rear differential. And today we're going to cover a couple of things. One, we're going to cover the location of the transmission filter and how you drain and refill your transmission, and how many quarts you need of a transmission fluid when you do a drain and refill with filter change. So the first thing is that I'd like to cover is where the location of that AT filter, the transmission filter, and basically it's being held with this inner liner retainer is being held by retainers, one right here, one right there, and there is, believe, a couple right here. And if you just remove this inner liner, let me just get my flashlight, and you try to zoom in a little bit, and that's the filter right there. AT automatic trans filter. That's the filter for the transmission. So that's that. We're gonna replace that. And the drain plug. Drain plug is right there. This is the drain plug that I removed. And this was actually in there. And the size to remove that drain plug is a 6 point. Let me just show you. The perfect size for this was 5/16. Okay. And basically this fits in perfectly into this right here. Okay, right there. So 5/16 was the perfect size for this. All right. So you remove that drain plug to drain your transmission fluid. And what I like to do, I like to let it sit a little bit, at least 15 minutes. I like to get as much as possible, as much as I can of that dirty fluid out. So the filter is going to be pretty straightforward. This is, see if I can get my flashlight again. Spin on. Okay. And let me go ahead and get that out. To remove the filter, I use size C oil filter removal kit. And this is size C, as you can see. And it fits just perfectly into, let me just place that on there, and then I can just show you. Yeah, it fits in just perfectly on there. All I need is just 3/8 to remove that filter. So I got my filter removal size C on there, and I got a little cloth here underneath just in case it starts dripping. It drips right on that white cloth. And this is how you remove the filter. It's just like an oil filter, just for your engine oil filter. Pretty similar. Okay, now, and see, as you can see, start dripping. I got my cloth in there. It's actually holding quite a bit. I don't want to make a mess everywhere. this is your oil filter. I'm gonna just set it down here for now, and the new filter is right here. Okay, and the part number is right there. I believe it says AC Delco on it, but also it says Wix. So the Wix part number is 51365, and the AC Delco is probably, I don't know if it's the TF1205 or the 89189. Either way, but if you type in that Wix number, I think you should pop up, and this is the barcode just in case you guys need that. And there is another number right there. So, oh, and let me make sure that I get this for you guys. That's another number right there. All right, so this is the filter. What I do, I try to put a little bit of oil on that gasket. Actually, I can use some of that oil that dripping right there. So just a little bit of that oil, and then just kind of go around this gasket a little bit just to kind of make it lubricated. When I do another round here from this oil that's dripping. And one thing I was gonna say, that you gotta be careful when you remove those filters, whether it's from the engine or transmission. I do see a gasket there. So I'm gonna go back to my filter. I'm gonna go back to that filter that I removed and see if that filter actually came off with the filter or not. Yeah, it got stuck on there. See that this is missing a gasket here. See how this is from another car here. You still see a gasket here, that black ring. It's missing from the one here for the transmission that I removed. And it's missing because it got stuck on there. So you got to be careful whenever you do oil changes and you remove those filters, or on the transmission, just like in our scenario, that this gasket need to be removed, because the new one, look at that. You got to remove those, otherwise it's going to continue to leak and you're going to have a bigger problem. The new one comes with a ring right there, that plastic gasket. Anyways, so we'll do another round here of the lubrication, and very good. And the way you tight this in, you just want to make sure it's snug. It's nothing you want to use a lot of force on. Oh yeah, just snug it. That's pretty good. We're done with the filter, guys. I'm gonna put back this retainer, do some cleaning up on here, remove my cloth, and I'll show you how you can put that plug back in and refill. All right, everything is back in place. I just want to show you what this looks like now, and move on to the next step. Okay, so this is still dripping, but it slowed down a lot. I think it is safe to go ahead and put the drain plug back in. Got our drain plug right here. Now, it is recommended to change this ring here whenever you change those drain plugs, but in our case, we're not going to, and we'll continue to monitor this just to make sure it's not dripping or it's not leaking. Should be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and tight this, and again, you just want to make sure that it's pretty snug in here. pretty snug right there. That's pretty good. A little bit of brake cleaner just to clean this. All right, and we're done with the transmission. Now we have to refill. Now, if you look in to see how much fluid that we used for a drain refill with a filter change, just keep watching this video, because honestly we don't even know. But first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with 4 quarts at minimum, and then we'll check the level and see what happens there, and we'll add if needed. Okay, so this has 4 quarts in it. It's a gallon. We're gonna put this to start with and see what happens. So the location of that dipstick, or where you can refill your transmission fluid from, is right there. So looking at the engine from the front here, and it's on the driver's side. You just zoom in, and you see that yellow dipstick? That's the transmission. That's where you can refill your transmission from. So you can set this aside. You want something that really is small to fit in that hole, and we're gonna use this blue funnel, and that's where we're gonna be able to refill that transmission fluid from. Again, I'm gonna start with the 4 quarts, 1 gallon, and we'll start the car up a little bit, and we'll see how much we're gonna add after that. So you guys are gonna have to watch till the end of the video to see how many quarts we used for drain and refill transmission fluid with a filter change. So I'm gonna put this whole thing in. I did put another funnel here, just a little higher for me to start pouring this oil. So we're gonna put this whole thing in. And no rush, as sometimes this doesn't go as fast as you'd like it to. That's fine. There you go. That's pretty much the whole gallon. All right, we're gonna start the vehicle and measure the fluid one more time and see how much we're gonna need to add. So guys, we did measure our dipstick, and it's below the marks. So we're gonna go ahead and add 1 more quart. So that's gonna be a total of 5 quarts after this, and we'll see what our level looks like. Okay, so we'll let the car run a little bit for the fluid to get warm and hot, and now we're gonna measure it after we added 5 quarts of transmission fluid. Let's check this dipstick and see where we're at. Okay, see, we are right here, right above the maximum marks, right there. So I personally don't like to see the fluid way over. This is just a little bit over. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lift the car up and I'm gonna drain a little bit of that fluid out. In a nutshell, it looks like to do a drain and refill. This is actually just an example, but we did not use this jug here. We used the other jug that was brand new. This, the one we used. In a nutshell, we added initially 4 quarts and then one more. And I think what we needed to do, you know how it says here 946 milliliter? I think we needed to start initially with 4.5 and start adding until we get the mark. So start with 4.5, and I think if I take a good guess, I think we're looking at maybe 4 quarts and maybe 6 milliliter, or maybe 700 milliliter, 600 milliliter or 700 milliliter to be perfect. But I would start with 4.5 and just kind of see how it goes. In the meantime, I'm not gonna show you how I'm gonna be able to, how I'm gonna drain some of that fluid out. I'm actually gonna drain, just open that drain plug again and drain a little bit out of it, maybe 100 or 200 milliliter, and I'll check the marks again and go from there. But again, I think you're looking at maybe 4.5 quarts to start with, and it all depends on, you know, various things like, did you make sure that you drain all the fluid out, you know, you let it sit, did you change the gasket, did you change, you know, a lot of different things. But start with 4.5, and I think you're probably going to end up adding maybe 100 or 200 milliliter after that. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great day, and we'll see you with another one.